Day of November 2025 it is. Good afternoon to KBC Lunchtime News. We have a loaded bulletin lined up for you, and two events that we are keeping our eyes peeled for. One being the 4-day Ukambani working tour of President William Ruto, and today he will be at Machakos town. My colleague Abdi with the president. And something else that we are keeping tabs with is the ODM at 20th anniversary. We have my colleague Giverson Maina, who traveled all the way to Mombasa to give us just a feel. Remember, today the celebrations are at the SK grounds in the coastal city of Mombasa. My name is Njue. The lovely lady on the bottom right of your screen is Caro Njoroge. Time for the news. Let's start all the way in Machakos. Abdiaziz Hashim, if you can hear me, kindly bring us up to speed. Earlier on we heard that the president will be officiating affordable housing in Machakos town. What else can you tell us, Abdi?
Well, thank you so much, and good afternoon to you too, indeed, Bentro, Njue, and our viewers. We're coming to you live from Machakos town, Machakos County. This is day 3 of President William Ruto's Ukambani tour. Of course, the trip of the president will be concluding in tomorrow, where the president is expected to hold leaders at the Kitui State Lodge, of course, to discuss matters to do with politics and, of course, developments that the president has assured this particular region for the last 4 days before concluding his tour of the Ukambani region, which has been postponed on numerous occasions by the president, has come back to this particular region, assuring them of a lot of things. And of course, this morning he woke up at Kangundo, of course, going there to launch various projects, including a 13-kilometer road of the we are talking about the Kangundo Mwala Road. Also, he'll be launching the Kibindani Miscellany Road, which he has done also. The president also will be coming here to Machakos town to be commissioning the affordable houses you're currently seeing behind me, and also groundbreaking of more affordable houses, given that he has assured this particular county that over 20 billion will be allocated for the construction of 30,000 houses that have been earmarked for the affordable housing project in this particular area. In Kangundo, where he left early in the morning, he was talking about the construction of affordable houses up to 300, allocating more monies not only to the affordable housing project, but also to the markets and the Kenya Medical Training College in that particular area, hostels for students as well, given that that is one of the projects that the president is currently focused on. Of course, a little bit of politics. The president has continued his onslaught on the opposition leaders, including the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who hails here from the Ukambani region, saying that the people of Ukambani have been let out of various administration on a number of occasions. They have been in the opposition. That's why they have not been getting majority of the developments. But right now, the president has assured the people of Ukambani all the projects that were earmarked not only during his administration, but during even the previous administrations, will be implemented in the coming years ahead of the 2027 polls. Also, a section of the political leaders who are accompanying the president, especially the Labour Cabinet Secretary Alfred Mutua, Mwala Member of Parliament Vincent Kawaya, also Mwingi West Member of Parliament Charles Nguna, and Mheshimiwa, that is Mwenge Mutuse, were of course launching their criticism to the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, whom they have accused of derailing this particular region for a number of years, even when he was a sitting vice president of this particular nation. As I told you, the president will be coming here any moment from now, commissioning these houses behind me and launching the groundbreaking of additional houses to be built in this particular region. Other goodies that the president has brought to Machakos County is the construction of 15 markets in this particular county, saying the Mamambogas need to work at an opportune time and then, of course, environments that can support their businesses. The construction, of course, of the Kangundo Mwala Road, the president has said it will cost over 1 billion shillings to ensure that that particular road reaches all the way to Mwala. He went, of course, to Mwala constituency itself, where he launched another road there. Additional resources, the president has assured, will be allocated as well for the construction of more roads. Even institutionally stated that no child should be left are expected to be in class, given that there is teachers and over 20,000 next year, bringing the total to over 100,000 teachers who will ensure the education sector is well endorsed. Also, the president has, of course, launched a warning here in Machakos County, saying that there are public hospitals who are charging outpatients services. Of course, exorbitant prices are being charged on Kenyans who have already registered under the Social Health Authority, funds that have already been allocated under SHA. And the president has urged the residents, not only here in Machakos, but across the country, to report any public hospital that are trying to ask prices from them, especially when they're seeking outpatient services in their various outlets across the country. So we'll be keeping tabs here. But Ben Troy, Njue, let us tell you that it has been light showers. Even the president sometimes has been forced to, of course, carry out in a demeanor so as to ensure that the rains do not affect the rallies that he has planned here, courtesy of not only the leaders here, but of various people of this particular country. And also we'll be keeping tabs on the president as and when he comes. But for now, Ben Troy, Njue, back to you.
Thank you. That has been my colleague Abdiaziz Hashim bringing us up to speed with what is happening in Ukambani, and to be specific, in Machakos, where the president will be commissioning the affordable housing projects, talking about 20 billion for 30,000 houses. Abdi, if you can hear me, the 30,000, are they specifically in Machakos town, or they will be distributed to other sub-counties?
No, it will be spread across the devolved units. The president has clearly stated that the over 30,000 houses that will be built here in Machakos County, while he was speaking in Kangundo, he clearly stated it is something that will be spread not only in Machakos town, but in various parts of the county itself. In Kangundo itself, he said 300 houses will be built there, affordable houses, and also the students of the Kenya Medical Training College of that particular area will receive additional hostels that will be constructed in that particular vicinity. The president has assured that it will not be centered around only the town centers, but also the various constituencies that are bordering Machakos County itself. Also important to note, the president clearly states that all the promises he has made, he will ensure that they are, of course, met at the end of the day by the deputy president. You know, the deputy president, once the president leaves any region that where the head of state has visited, assuring many people of the projects that will be launched in that particular area, the deputy president, especially Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, has been coming back on numerous occasions, not only here in this particular region, but in many other parts of the country when the president had conducted his visits in the Mount Kenya region, in the northeastern part of the country, the coast, the western and Nyanza region. They have always been keeping tabs to ensure that some of the projects they have earmarked for this particular financial year and the coming financial years are met at the end of the day. Troy.
Thank you, Abdiaziz. As we can see that the rains have started falling down, so I'll let you go. You'll be briefing us in regards to what the president says in Machakos on a later time. Thank you so much, Abdi. From Machakos back to here in studio, where the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, says it is committed to ensuring there are free, fair, transparent and peaceful by-elections on Thursday, November 27th, 2025. Speaking in Nairobi, IEBC chairperson Erastus Ethekon has urged those participating in the by-election to adhere to the code of conduct, saying the electoral body will not condone any acts of lawlessness during this exercise. This will be the first electoral process that will be undertaken by the new IEBC commissioners who took office in July of this year. The mini polls will take place in 6 constituencies, 16 wards and 1 county.
So far, our teams have been on the ground. We have appointed the returning officers for those respective elections. We have trained the electoral officials on the work they are supposed to do. And we have prepared all the materials that are required for us to conduct and complete those elections successfully. The harmonization of campaign schedules, which was consultative and agreed and signed off by the political parties and their candidates, must be adhered to strictly, because this avoids situations where the various political teams and candidates and their supporters clash along the way during their campaigns, as has happened in the case of Kasipul. So we urge all the candidates to ensure that they stick to the calendar of events, the days, the schedules, and the venues and the timing.
Any person who involves himself in a manner that causes breach of the law, including all the other areas, Bere included and many others, the National Police Service will not allow. And we are going to do our work as guided by the Constitution. Right now, in Kaspul, we are following up on all those who have committed several criminal acts. And it is the high time that
members of the
those who have committed those crimes, and they are not already with us, they come forward to the police. Because our teams are out there, and we must get them.
Those who are involved in organizing these criminal characters to disrupt peace, we are going to deal with them. And therefore, there is nowhere that they can hide, because by working together, these three agents, the IBC, NPS, and NCIC, there is nowhere for them to hide, and we will have to make them to account.
And from electoral matters, let's dig into some politics, where Democratic Party leader Justin Muturi is accusing the United Democratic Alliance Brigade in Mbeere North of intimidating voters ahead of the parliamentary by-election on Thursday, November the 27th, 2025. Speaking while campaigning for Newton Karish, Muturi expressed confidence that the DP party will retain the seat. Yeshuki Washira has more of this and other political stories.
As November 27, 2025 by-elections draw closer, campaigns are in top gear in Mbeere North constituency in Embu County, where Democratic Party leader Justin Muturi is expressing confidence his party will retain the seat.
Walipokuja hapa Mbeere North, hapa Ishiara, pale Kanywambora, walifanya mikutano yao kwa njia ya amani. Hakuna mtu aliwauliza. Ati sasa vijana wao wanasema ati Rigiji na kina Kalonzo wakithubutu kuingia hapa ati wataona cha mtamakuni.
Muturi spoke while campaigning for DP's candidate Newton Karish.
Kwa hivyo kuwa MP sio lazima uwe kwa serikali.
Separately, Safina Party has opened a new office in Narok County ahead of the upcoming by-elections.
Saa hii tunatafuta nguvu ya mfuko, ya kwamba hata tukiwa na hii demokrasia, kama hakuna nguvu ya mfuko, hii yote meaningless.
Elsewhere, Laikipia East Member of Parliament Mwangi Njue has called on leaders to shun petty politics and instead focus on delivering development to the people.
Mimi nataka kukubusha viongozi wote ambao wanafanya campaign na ambao wanaongea kuhusu wengine. Wakumbuke kila mtu ako na historia. Na historia yako haiwezi kufa ati kwa sababu umeungana na mrengo fulani.
Njue was speaking in Kirogoya, Kirinyaga County during an empowerment program where community groups benefited from tents and chairs. Yeshuki Washira, Lunchtime News.
Moving on, the Migori County government has been urged to increase funding to the health department to strengthen the implementation of the primary care network services across the region. The call was made during a medical outreach camp held at Oruba DIP Hospital, where a team of medical specialists provided essential health services to residents from densely populated estates in Migori town. Health stakeholders and community leaders commended the initiative and called for more medical outreach programs to enhance preventive health care and early disease detection across the county.
The coming of the experts is very important because it takes care of a big percentage of clients. I just want to say 100% because all those who come, they'll be seen. Maybe some very few percentage will need to be seen at the referral place because there are some machines that you cannot carry here. So, but by coming to see them and maybe identifying their problems, some will realize, will see the weight of their problems.
Such services are very important because there are so many people don't go to the hospital, but when now the hospital is brought to them, in such activities, they come so that they be screened.
Ile yenye tumekuja hospitali kanza, mwenye ako na kanza, unashughulikiwa, unaona uko sawa, na pressure tuko sawa. Hiyo ndio tulikuja, matibabu hiyo tumeona tuko sawa na wametusaidia. Kuna wenye walikuwa hawajiwezi na hiyo matibabu kupeleka hela, na wamekuja wamepata usaidizi kwa serikali. Tunashukuru serikali.
Elsewhere, the government has rolled out an ambitious initiative to instill and strengthen moral values among children and youth across the country. The initiative includes the unveiling of a training manual which outlines a structured approach to guide parents and caregivers on how to mentor the young population on moral integrity, responsibility, and patriotism.
The State Department for National Government Coordination under Office of the President and Office of Prime Cabinet Secretary unveiled a training manual for nurturing national values in children and youth. The manual, a first of its kind, has since been used to train the first cohort of 50 parents from Kisumu and Nairobi counties. Speaking during the official launch of the training manual, Secretary for National Cohesion and Values, Josiah Musili, emphasized that the future of any nation lies in the values upheld by its young generation.
Nurturing the essential values in this segment of the community is a cornerstone for building a responsible, united, progressive society. As the future custodians of our nation's heritage and development, young people must be guided to embrace values from a very early age.
Musili noted that parents are the primary value carriers in society.
The value carriers that we are dealing with today are parents. The manual that we are launching today provides a structured way of sensitizing and training parents on nurturing values in children.
We feel like the role of parents in values inculcation is central because that is actually the greatest interface with children. Children spend most of their time with parents.
Principal Secretary for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Aurelia Rono, described the initiative as a major milestone in promoting national values and strengthening the family as the foundation of society.
The family stands out as the primary institution that needed to cultivate in their children a deep respect for national values.
She noted that the family is a critical pillar in shaping a value-based nation, adding that the manual comes at a time when the country is grappling with decaying morals and behavioral challenges.
This initiative comes at a most opportune moment. We are witnessing an increasing challenge of value erosion and behavioral crisis among segments of our population, particularly among the youth.
Going to lead by example, first of all, because I cannot be talking of the national unity, naambia mtoto wangu pendana na mwenzako na ni mimi na jirani, we cannot see eye to eye. So I have to lead by example.
The manual is considered a national call to action for parents, educators, and community leaders to take part in shaping a cohesive and morally upright society. Family has been mentioned as one of the key pillars that is necessary in instilling values in both children and the youths. For KBC Channel 1, I am Teresa Mutai.
After that report by Teresa Mutai, we now cross over to the sandy beaches of Mombasa, where it's all systems go as ODM party marks 20 years of its existence, and all eyes will be in Mombasa beginning today until the 16th. And as you can see on your screen, my colleague Giverson Minor is currently on standby just to give us a feel of what to expect, especially since the event begins today all the way to the 16th. I remember the head of state, President William Ruto, will also grace that event. Over to you, Giverson.
And we are coming to you live from ASK Showgrounds in Mombasa County, where ODM is marking its 20th anniversary. And this is 20 years since ODM was conceived by the former party leader, the former prime minister. And today they have him today because he passed on in October. They are here with Odinga is the person who convened the meeting, but to have him. But yesterday night, Oburu Odinga, party leader of two women representative in Mombasa County, Zamzam Mohammed, to tell us how it feels like to celebrate the anniversary, the 20th anniversary of ODM without Raila Odinga. Karibu sana mheshimiwa na asante sana kwa kutenga muda wako kwa KBC Channel 1. Karibu sana na hii leo you're marking the 20 years since the inception of ODM. But without Raila Odinga, you have a new party leader. How does it feel like?
Actually, we are still mourning, but again, we thank God for everything. In as much as would want to cry year in, year out, but Baba is already gone and the party has to run. And so we welcome our new party leader, Honorable Oburu Odinga, and we also believe in him in running the party. And we know that, ODM is a very strong party. It is celebrated all over Africa. It is well known in the world. And so ODM as a party in Kenya is well organized. And we are ready even to go to the elections. Yeah. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka nishukuru sana na niseme sisi tuna mwelekeo mpaka sasa. Na baba alituacha akijua ametuacha kwa mikono gani. Tuliwajua mti mkubwa ukianguka siku zote ndege wanayumba, lakini sisi hatuyumbi kwa sababu alituwekea mwelekeo, akasema nimeweka hapa kwenye broad base, hapa ndani tutapanga. Tunataka tu tujue kama ODM kwa vile ni chama kubwa, tujue ikiwa tutafanya coalition, ikiwa sisi ndio tutaingia kwenye kura, tunaingia namna gani, ama tunafanya coalition kwa misingi gani, tutapata kitu gani. Maana ni chama kubwa na hichi chama peke yake ndio kinaweza kumregesha William Samoei Ruto kwa tamu yake ya pili.
Na nikuulize, labda kumekuwa na mkinzano kidogo ndani ya chama, wengine wakisema wakiongozwa na kina Sifuna kwamba mwaka 2027 huenda wakaamua jambo lingine, lakini wengine wanasema bado wako ndani ya serikali. Hapo kunaenda vipi?
Wajua ni yale ambayo nakwambia, mti mkubwa ukianguka ndege zinayumba. Haya ambayo unayaona ndani ya ODM ni mambo yetu ya ndani ya nyumba na tutayaweka sawa, kwa sababu kuna watu wazima ndani ambao watatoa mwelekeo. Na mimi nataka kuambia Wakenya, ODM inaangalia kwanza amani ya nchi, inaangalia kwanza maendeleo ya nchi, haiangalii nani anataka nini, nani anataka. Kwanza nchi lazima istawi. Kwa hiyo mimi hata hii sintofahamu ambao iko, mimi naiangalia, lakini najua ni kawaida. Watoto wakibaki ndani ya nyumba, mpira huyu atacheza, huyu atachenga, lakini at the end of the day tutapata mwelekeo ambao ni mzuri sana, na mwelekeo zani tena sisi mwelekeo biti kali na kwa hiyo sisi
hapo kwamba atakuja kwenye ile mankuli ya hiyo, inaashiria kwamba rais ambaye ni kinara wa UDA kama ODM hapo kesho.
Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto alikuwa ODM, na ni kama vile baba anajenga nyumba yake, wa mtoto kwa kibanda chake akajenga. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Ruto ODM, na sisi tuambie wa Kenya, sisi tunamkumbatia kuwa Amolo Odinga government kuwa tutampa heshima bila kupeleka bila misukosuko.
Mbunge sana kuhusu
ana kwanza mama mimi wa county hapa nyuma wamehudhuria leo, and love they had for our baba,
And because we already, even though he's not with us, we have an ODM structure. That is why we were able to very quickly organize for this meeting to celebrate the resilience, the fight that he fought for us, especially women, to be in leadership positions. Because the 2010 Constitution was basically his fight, because he loved women being in decision-making table, because he knows that when women are on the decision-making table, good things come out. Good governance is practiced. So we are here to celebrate, to cry also at the same time. Today, even as we were giving our speeches, we cried, we love him, we celebrated him, and we will forever, remember him.
Labda nikuulize hapo kwa Oburu Odinga kama kinara wenu mpya sasa. Je, unaona kama atatosheleza zile viatu zilikuwa zimevaliwa na Raila Odinga?
Kinara wetu mpya ambaye ni Dr. Oburu Odinga anaweza. Na kuna vijana nyuma yake. Sasa hivi Mama County ameongea juu ya Ali Hassan Joho ambaye ndiye senior most politician from hapa. Yeye na wengine watasaidiana na sisi CS Ali Joho. Maana tutaenda. And he lead this country, and we are also praying for him to have a very senior position in this country. If not the president, then the deputy president.
Nizungumze mama, karibu sana. Maoni yako ni yapi ambayo imetendeka jana katika mkutano wa jana wa ODM na hivi leo sherehe za leo?
Asante sana. Kwa majina naitwa Mheshimiwa Maimuna Salim. Nafikiri sisi ndio waanzilishi wa ODM tangu tulikuwa kwa Rainbow Coalition tukaja kwa LDP. Kwa hiyo sisi tuna imani ya kwamba baba amefariki, lakini spirit zake zitaweza kutuongoza. Si tu mimi napenda kutoa shukrani kwa sababu kama si baba tusingekuwa na haki ya disability katika bunge la county, katika bunge la national, na tusingekuwa na haki ya youth katika bunge. Kwa hiyo mimi ninaunga mkono na ninasema kwamba sisi Oburu Odinga tunaamini ya kwamba kuna wanajeshi nyuma yake wakiongozwa na kinara wetu wa Pwani ambaye ni Ali Hassan Joho. Kwa hiyo sisi tunawangoja wakae na sisi tukae tuangalie. Na mkutano wa kesho nina imani ya kwamba sisi wetu ataweza kwa sababu yeye kwa ODM. Na tunaomba wake tuchukue majukumu kumbuko katika uongozi.
Na kina is 001 AS County the ODM anniversary 20 years since the inception of the party ODM, and today they're doing it without Raila Odinga. They say they're still, of course, saddened by his passing, but as you heard from them, they have now the new party leader who happens to be the brother of Raila Odinga, Oburu Odinga. And of course we'll be following up on this, and of course file our story from County 001 in our subsequent bulletin. My name is Giverson Minor. Back to you in studio.
Hata kani kuchapa, how do you kuchapa ni kuchoma mtoto?
Between me and your mother, ni nani mkali?
Ninyi wote.
Unaona generation vile inakaa?
Si generation, anauliza swali kulingana na vile nyinyi.
Ndio maana huwa nakapiga. Yaani
unakapika.
Ulimupiga ndiye ni ukajua mimi ndio msasi wake.
Were you there?
I was not there.
Thank you very much. So why do you feel pain? You see, she was your baby.
Toto ni ya jamii.
Jamii
Hautamisa mtoto na sisi akae kando.
Mtoto amefukuziwa school fees, sio wa jamii.
The bottom-up economic transformation agenda is not just a plan on paper.
Manifesto tulioandika na tukauzia Wakenya na wakatupigia kura, sio gazeti ya kufunga nyama.
It is happening. on the ground across Kenya.
Enda subabogi Moriega Jodhurwa unjie Mugani Pamjambo.
In agriculture,
Turkana wameamkia mambo ya ukulima sasa.
On our roads,
Lami black anaingia hapa anagausha hapa, wacha bana.
In health,
all our patients are in SHA 100%.
In housing,
kutoka nyumba za mabati kuleta nyumba kama hii ya ghorofa ni kitu ya mzuri sana.
In our markets,
umetukumbuka sisi mama mboga, shida zetu umezitatua,
and so much more.
Inakuja mashinani na this is all what we have been requesting.
This is Impact. Is delivering the plan. Every Friday on KBC Channel 1.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News, and allow me to apologize for that technical hitch as we left ODM party. We will be staging the celebrations from today to the 16th. Who we are expected to include one of the founders, William Ruto, and also something that you're also key is that the first major event for the ODM party since the death of leader and party leader Raila Odinga on many political leaders in that, and Give Us On Maina together with our Mombasa crew will be keeping us up to date with what is happening. But today, Women League, Youth League and Persons with Disability Leagues are celebrating the event at the ASK Showground in Mombasa. From the beaches of Mombasa to the lakeside city of Kisumu, where Kisumu City Manager Abala Wanga has been summoned to appear before the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission over corruption charges. The former head of the Lake Region Economic Bloc is accused of using forged documents to fraudulently secure his appointment as the city manager. Achola Simon with that report.
The troubled Lakeside City boss has been summoned to appear at the Ethics and Anti-Corruption headquarters for arraignment in court over allegation of corruption. Abala is accused of using forged documents to fraudulently secure a job as a city manager.
What ESCC wants recruiting agencies to do is to ensure that before they employ or recruit people, they undertake background checks to verify the authenticity of the certificates that have been submitted.
He is also accused of falsifying documents to enable a female acquaintance to travel to Nigeria as a county staff. The female acquaintance received allowances as part of the county staff on official duty. According to the summons, EACC wants Abala Wanga charged for forgery, contrary to Section 345, as read with Section 349 of the Penal Code. They also want him charged with fraudulent acquisition of public property, contrary to Section 45(1), as read with Section 48(1) of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act 2003.
To enhance that crackdown on forgery of academic certificates in the public service, EACC will not only recommend prosecution of the academic cheats, but will also file civil proceedings to recover all the salaries and the benefits earned by the individual over whatever period that they have worked using fake papers, because such earnings constitute proceeds of crime.
Similarly, Abala Wanga will be charged with uttering false document contrary to Section 353 as read with Section 349 of the Penal Code. The anti-graft body wants him to appear at the headquarters with immediate effect.
Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has urged ministries to fast-track Kenya Kwanza's development agenda ahead of the 2027 polls. Speaking in Nairobi, Mudavadi said the next 20 months are crucial to deliver results under the bottom-up plan. He cited progress in health and education and unveiled a new governance pact to boost accountability in public service.
Kenyans are accessing free healthcare in our hospitals. Even though it is real, we cannot shy away from the challenges that need to be addressed to ensure that our goal in achieving universal healthcare is fully met. In education, there have been interventions that have produced remarkable results. The school feeding program, for example, has been a game changer. In 2022, there were 2.2 million learners in our schools, but with the introduction of this program, the number of learners in schools rose to 2.6 million in 2025. Furthermore, we have constructed 23,000 new classrooms and employed over 76,000 teachers.
Now, Dagoretti South Member of Parliament John Kiarie has been elected the new president of the General Assembly of the World Scout Parliamentary Union, a first for the African continent. Kiarie has been serving as the WSPU Kenya chapter president and global first vice president since 2022. The lawmaker said as the first African global president, he will amplify Scouts' value in parliaments worldwide, turning the promise into policies that propel sustainable development goals.
I, with great humility, accept to come up as the president of the World Scout Parliamentary Union Global, and I am ready to take up all the duties and all the responsibilities that come with this office. I shall be depending on the great knowledge of those who came before us. We shall be standing tall because we are standing on the shoulders of great men who went before us.
In other news, Kenya is set to benefit from 4 new mega projects worth 4.8 billion shillings in support of green transition. The projects funded and supported by the European Union delegation target to reduce the impact of climate change, preserve biodiversity, restore ocean health, and improve productivity of nature and assets. The projects include adoption of sustainable land management practices in Lake Baringo watershed, establishment of resilient community conservancies, advancing Kenya's circular economy, and support measurement reporting and verification system to track Kenya's climate progress.
With the country witnessing impacts of climate change as evident through the recent floods and drought in northern Kenya, landslides in Elgeyo Marakwet, and the continued rising water levels in Lake Baringo, Naivasha, Victoria, among others, it's a clear indication of destruction and degradation of the ecosystem. It is against this backdrop that the European Union delegation, led by European Ambassador to Kenya, Henriette Jaiger, have committed to fund 4 green mega projects worth 4.8 billion shillings in support of the Kenya's green transition, and also as part of the commitment to promoting climate change.
We select programs where we feel we can make the most create added value. Also means we select our partners.
We are, as you know, member states of the European Union, which has the Green Deal approach. Important is our priority areas.
The projects that range from Lake Baringo watershed to establishing resilient community conservancies to advancing Kenya's circular economy aims to reduce the country's vulnerability to impacts of climate change.
Beyond environmental restoration, the project prioritizes empowering local communities to build resilience.
The MRV Plus system will therefore enable us to meet our international obligations, such as submitting the biennial transparency reports, BTRs.
Wildlife Principal Secretary Sylvia Mseya, while leading the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding with the AU delegation, noted that the government has put in place a mechanism that will ensure proper utilization of the Green Project Fund.
So we still have a keen eye to ensure that the projects are implemented as were proposed jointly by ourselves. So we co-own from the beginning. We do reviews, periodic reviews.
Also, what is being created in a program has sustainability over time, and the government or whatever entity it is that will receive the end product will be able to run with it and maintain it.
Opicho Chemtai for Lunchtime News.
Kenya and the United Kingdom have committed to deepening their diplomatic and development cooperation. Speaking in Nairobi during celebrations to mark the birthday of His Majesty King Charles III, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi said the Kenya Kwanza administration will continue to strengthen Kenya's commitment to the values that underpin its partnership with the UK. He also highlighted the Kenya-UK strategic partnership signed in July, a 5-year blueprint guiding cooperation in trade, investment, climate resilience, defense, science, and technology.
The Kenya-UK Economic Partnership is a sound framework for deepening cooperation between our two countries. We look forward to more partnerships with the UK, particularly in green investment, including the realization of the Nairobi Railway City project that is already in progress.
In July, President Ruto and Prime Minister Starmer signed a new 5-year strategic partnership, setting out our shared ambition to double trade, increase investment and green growth, build climate resilience, partner in regional stability through defense, and collaborate across science, technology, and innovation.
And authorities in Kiambu County are sounding the alarm over the increase in road accidents, attributing the rising death toll to speeding motorists and pedestrians ignoring designated crossing points. National Transport and Safety Authority NTSA Regional Manager Kendi Mutuma noted that many of the accidents have occurred along the Thika Superhighway and sections of the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway. It was also noted that despite the presence of several footbridges along the highways, many pedestrians still dash across the roads even as vehicles move at high speed, while others cross while using earphones or mobile phones, making them less alert.
We're asking people to be very keen when they're using the roads to ensure that the road is clear. We're also making a cry that people to use the footbridges that are there along the road, because we are having a lot of people dashing, trying to cross the road. Yeah, we're also asking people to adhere to the speed limits along the roads. And basically people to be more careful when it comes to using the roads on a daily basis.
We have quite a lot of road traffic accident cases at the courts. We have the minor injuries. We also have fatal accidents, and there are quite a number. We also have the traffic cases where we have drivers and riders being charged for careless driving or reckless driving or causing death by dangerous driving. There are quite a number.
Time to make sense of business. And with millions of young people in Kenya facing challenges accessing mental health support, Shamiri Institute has launched an artificial intelligence tool designed to provide scalable, affordable, and effective mental health care. The artificial intelligence tool targets to impact 10 million youth by the year 2032.
In Kenya, fewer than 500 psychiatrists serve a population of over 50 million, making traditional one-on-one therapy models insufficient to meet the growing demand for those battling mental health challenges. This has prompted Shamiri Institute to design a technological tool to bridge the gap by delivering the services at scale.
What I want to say that Shamiri is doing is that by leveraging on technology, on AI techniques, on new platforms, it's also a new way of reaching young people who are suffering mental health.
The platform leverages machine learning, data analytics, and speech recognition to optimize therapy, match clients with the most effective interventions, and provide real-time feedback to therapists.
it is data and science driven, which can also bring about innovative and sustainable solution to a very significant societal problem that we're all facing.
The artificial intelligence tool has been curated to understand Kenya's multilingual context and build on Shamiri's evidence-based model, which has already reached over 185,000 youths, helping reduce anxiety and depression by up to 80%.
Kenya and South Korea have rolled out an integrated pest management system to fight fall armyworm invasion in maize farms. Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization Crop Health Research Coordinator Zachary Njue says the biological pest control system will entail use of artificial intelligence to provide real-time data on the pests.
To reduce the use of chemicals in maize production, Kenya is among 25 African countries that is embracing the use of an integrated pest management system to combat the invasive fall armyworm infestation. Under the Korean-sponsored project, smallholder farmers will be trained on biologically fall armyworm control measures that include introducing parasitic wasps and beneficial fungus.
Farmers are going to benefit in the sense that by the biological controls or the parasitoids controlling the pest fall armyworm, farmers are going to find less need of going to the agrovet shop.
Every animal, every living thing has an enemy. So even insects have enemies. So you use fungus to control the fall armyworm. You can also use parasitoids.
The biological methods will be scaled up in maize growing regions.
Maize is an emotional crop. If you want to fight with Kenyans, is you talk negative about maize.
Tumerecommend wakulima watumie mbinu tofauti. Wasikimbilie tu madawa ya dukani. Kuna njia tofauti zile zinaweza zuia mdudu ambayo tunaziita integrated pest management approach ili tuweze kupunguza madhara ya fall armyworm.
The project will see the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization and other partners use artificial intelligence to track and manage the pest through data sharing.
With a sample of a few farms, we should be able to build models that can predict other regions that could be suitable for the migration of these pests to those regions.
Equity Group Foundation, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, has rolled out a new initiative to train, mentor and improve access to finance for high-potential climate-neutral businesses. Equity Group Foundation Executive Chairman James Mwangi says the initiative will empower young innovators with essential tools and networks while leveraging Equity's operation in 7 African countries to enhance market access.
The collaboration between United Nations Development Programme and Equity Group Foundation seeks to shift Kenya's entrepreneurship ecosystem from informal and fragmented to structured and export-oriented. Equity Group Foundation Executive Chairman James Mwangi says the new initiative is a springboard for Kenyan innovators aiming to tap into regional markets.
We're entering into the space of renewable energy because of innovations. So we felt that should also be accompanied by technology to allow innovative business models. It allows easy transformation through capacitation.
The collaboration will target high-potential value chains such as digital services, green manufacturing, agriculture and climate-neutral technologies, where Kenyan entrepreneurs often show strong innovation but face capital or market beyond Kenya.
AI natives, they understand these things. We shouldn't be giving them technology that is not consistent with their time. So technology is really important in bringing that level.
The new partnership seeks to create a predictable, investor-ready pipeline for enterprises with continental reach.
We're talking about prosperity rather than poverty, because we've been 60 years in the business of ending poverty, hasn't ended. So we're changing tack and say, let's invest in wealth creation and shared prosperity as a lens. And perhaps that will be the force that actually drives poverty out the door.
Reporting for KBC, Salina Isoe.
Further afield, South Korea has lined up $150 billion in investment in the American shipbuilding sector and another $200 billion in industrial sectors in the United States of America under a new trade agreement between the two countries. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the business field around the world.
The joint announcement between the U.S. and South Korea followed a meeting in October between South Korean President Lee Jae and U.S. President Donald Trump, who reached a deal that would cut American import duties on South Korea's product from 25% to 15%. Officials from the two countries signed a memorandum of understanding on Friday. The 27.9 binding document has details on strategic investment. It lays out a schedule for implementation of the project that will be selected by the U.S. after consultation with the South Korea, and Seoul is required to transfer funds within 45 days of the decision. Meanwhile, families and small businesses in Germany are reeling from the heating bills that have soared, forcing tough choices as winter sets in. Germans are facing an 82% increase in heating costs since 2021, when the country decided to reduce its reliance on Russian pipeline gas since the onset of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In Germany, it's common to find some residents living in older buildings. Due to poor insulation and rapid heat loss, they often have to undertake energy-saving renovations themselves, such as replacing windows, reducing ventilation time, or lowering indoors temperature to minimize heating costs. Finally, gold prices have hit a record high in the domestic market following the implementation of China's new value-added tax VAT policy on the gold market, effective on the 1st of November. The most significant change under the new policy is that gold for investment and non-investment purposes will be subject to different tax rules once it leaves the exchange and enters the distribution chain. Gold jewelry, classified as non-investment use, faces an increased tax burden which impacts the gold jewelry market. The industry generally believes that high gold prices combined with tax impact will negatively affect gold sales. Against this backdrop, gold processing and exchange services are expected to grow.
And away from business to some divine intervention, where yours truly, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, has held its first end-of-year prayer day to reflect on the year's blessings and seek divine guidance for the future. The corporation's staff and managerial team had a moment of worship and praise and sermon as well. The Managing Director, Agnes Kaleche, lauded the staff for their unwavering dedication and commitment to deliver their duties amid a myriad of challenges faced in the corporation. The prayers were organized by the KBC Christian Fellowship, KBC Njue, and the Muslim Fraternity. Take a look.
We wonder, are we being seen? Are we being heard? Are we being valued? And the most important asset of this corporation is not the building or the equipment or the infrastructure. It's you, it's us, the people seated here. It's our colleagues who are unwell, our retired friends who have built this place and are at home, and our families who support us.
We must be very grateful. We must thank the Lord for giving us, singling us out as individuals and as a collective, and giving us the huge privilege that we enjoy to be able to say we work for the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation.
Our challenge as a corporation as we come to pray, profit margins, employee turnover, debts, among others. These are just somewhat of what I was able to do an analysis backward even without getting the information, just being able to analyze. Those are some of the things that hold us down. And the reason why we come, and I love this day, is so that we can invite the divine God to come alongside us and help us.
We felt the need to commit KBC in is where it all began. Because we acknowledge and we know that God's power can change situations.
I have to say to all that, it's amen and amen. Moving on, let's now switch gears to matters sports. The national men's soccer team, Harambee Stars, is confident of registering impressive result in their first of 2 international friendly matches set to be played in Antalya, Turkey. Kenya will face Equatorial Guinea from today, kicking off at 6 p.m. at Emir Han Sports Center in Antalya, then face Senegal 4 days later at the same venue. Harambee Stars head coach Benny McCarthy linked up with the squad in Turkey and is expected to guide Stars past their West African opponents ranked 99th, 10 places above Kenya on the current FIFA rankings. Against Equatorial Guinea, Benny is expected to hand debut to a number of players called to the national squad for the first time. Among those in line to earn their first caps include Gor Mahia's fast-rising left-back Brighton Onyona, Sharif Musa, Nairobi United's defender Kevin Otiende, and as well as Spain-based Adrian Kibet and Zamalek's Baron Ochieng. After the Equatorial clash, Kenya will then face former African champions Senegal on 18th of November. Kenya will use the fixtures to fine-tune themselves ahead of the forthcoming international assignment.
Obviously, we have not been able to all the international windows, but with the current regime, we can be able to honor all the FIFA windows for this part of the year. Now, this is something that was a bit ignored before, but it is very good for the players. It's very good for new players picked up to get that experience.
5, 6, 7. All the best to our boys in Turkey, formerly Turkey. Moving on, Nigeria will face Democratic Republic of Congo in the Africa World Cup qualifiers playoff final after the 2 sides won their respective semi-final matches last night. Nigeria registered a 4-1 extra-time win over Gabon, while DRC defeated Cameroon 1-0. Both matches were played in Rabat, Morocco.
Victor Osimhen's extra-time brace propelled the Super Eagles to a 4-1 victory against Gabon in Rabat, Morocco, after Akor Adams' regulation time was cancelled out by Mario Lemina to force the extra time. Chidera Ejuke had restored Nigeria's lead early in the extra time before Osimhen's decisive strikes.
9th minute. Ndidi coming forward. It's a nicely measured ball as well, and Nigeria have that second goal. It's really well played by Frederick though. Osimhen from the angle. Victor Osimhen, he's found a corner. That's more like it. Osimhen again. Once more from the angle, it's another goal for Osimhen.
Meanwhile, Chancel Mbemba was the hero with the late winner as DR Congo beat Cameroon 1-0 to set up a meeting with Nigeria in the final of the African playoffs for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Not a bad delivery either, and it's in, and it's the captain, Chancel Mbemba.
The winners of the Continental Playoff Final will progress to a 6-team Intercontinental Qualifier, which will be held in March and will determine the final 2 nations to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in Canada, Mexico and the United States. Sean Njue for Lunchtime News.
Those games remind me of Chan 2025 right here in Kenya, but don't forget that Kenya will host, together with Uganda and Tanzania, the AFCON 2027. Further afield, France secured a place at the 2026 World Cup after ruthlessly hammering Ukraine 4-0 last night at the Parc des Princes Stadium in Paris, France. Kylian Mbappe scored the opening for France in the 55th minute before Michael Olise fired home 20 minutes later to give France a double lead. Mbappe then scored his second goal from close range in the 83rd minute. Hugo Ekitike 5 minutes later to produce a clinical finish. In other Ronaldo was sent the chance to secure World Cup qualification with a surprise 2-0 defeat by the Republic of Kiva Stadium. After a 2-0 at the Wembley in England.
to gather. It's back out to O'Reilly. Goodell makes the block and Saka scores. Foden, Saka to his right, Eza to his left. It's Eza who has it, and he just glides it home.
Well, and that report of England beating Serbia by 2-0. Remember, the 2 goals were scored by Arsenal players, that is Bukayo Saka and Ebere Eze. Takes us to the tail end of this bulletin. Don't forget to check out our social media spaces, including our KBC digital app, for this news and much, much more in real time. My name is Njue. My colleague on the bottom of your screen, handling the sign language interpretation, has been Caro Njoroge. On behalf of everyone who's made this broadcast a success, including my news director, Jackie Wasolo, up there, I wish you a fantastic weekend ahead.
A new era has come to KBC Channel 1 TV on your favorite gospel show, The Backyard, with me, DJ Tabs, as we introduce to you our new host, the one and only award-winning gospel artist, pioneer, Mr. Big Deal, Mr. General, the one and only.
Yes, man, I go by the name Hope Kid the General, Mr. Big Deal, new school dancehall pioneer, and I'm humbled to be your amazing host from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. each and every Saturday with DJ Tabs, the head girl, and we'll be having amazing conversation with some of the leading guest line here on this show.
Join us
each and every Saturday.
Too much. I can't keep this to myself anymore. If Nazario loses his memory, I'll end up empty. He's everything to me.
The only thing you'll provoke is more gossip. If Alonso finds out, we'll get into trouble.
Well, you're the one who caused these problems.
Rodrigo convinced me to come back to him. He told me that he loved me and that somebody was trying to separate us, you know?
You know what she did after he left her standing at the altar? She told all of us that we had to celebrate the fact that she had been saved from marrying a fool like you.
Why don't you stop beating around the bush and tell me, what's wrong?
Nora, you're pregnant.
Kila mwisho wa juma kwenye runinga yako ya KBC Channel